Tasya Sanjayan Harsham. So whenever we are reading the shlokas, we'll always read word by word and then the entire sentence. Let me go word by word. Tasya Sanjayan Harsham. Tasya Sanjayan Harsham. Tasya Sanjayan Harsham. Kuru Vriddaha. Kuru Vriddaha. Pitamaha. Pitamaha. Kuru Vriddaha. Pitamaha. Kuru Vriddaha. Pitamaha. Simha Nadam Vinodachai. Simhanadam Vinodachai. Shankham Dadnau Pratapavan. Shankham Dadnau Pratapavan. Tasya Sanjayan Harsham Kuru Vriddha Pitamaha. Simhanadam Vinodachai. Shankho Dadnau Pratapavan. So this is the 12th shloka, and now I would request one of you, whoever can. Okay, I'll read the English. I'll read the Sanskrit part, and I would request one of you to read the English equivalent, the English synonyms. So, is there anyone who can read it? I can see there is. Okay, I have.
Prabhu, do you mean the synonyms?
Okay, you'll read the synonyms.
Yes,
Okay.
sure.
So I think Ritambra or someone will read the synonyms. I'll ask someone else to read the translation. So you can please read one person will read the synonyms. The translation will be read by some other student. All right. So let us start. So please identify yourself. Who is going to read the synonyms?
Ritambara.
So Ritambra, now let us start. Tasya
His.
Sanjayan
Increasing.
Harsham
Cheerfulness.
Kuru Vriddaha
The grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, Bhishma.
Pitamaha
The grandfather.
Simhanadam
Roaring sound like a lion.
Vinadya
Vibrating.
Uchchai
Very loudly.
Shankham
Conch shell.
Dadmau
Blue.
Pratapavan.
Prabhu, I can't see the last one. The valiant.
Yes. So now I would request. Can you please identify someone as okay? Who will read the synonyms? Can anyone tell me if you can raise your hands? Who wants to read the synonyms? Other than Ritambra, okay, you can read the. Okay, Shriya has raised hands. So Shriya, you instead of reading the synonyms, you read the translation. Translation is on your screen, so please read the translation.
Translation. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, like the sound of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy.
So we have discussed the translation, and I would request one among you, one of you. Someone has, some student has joined in. There is Greek Palo also. There is Rati Sharma ji also. So you can please, you can read the first line of the translation. Okay, you can read the purport. Girik, is it possible for you to read?
Yes, Prabhu.
So Greek, you will read until here. I have highlighted using highlighter. So this is highlighted in blue font and in white font. So you please read until this part.
Okay, Prabhu. The grandsire of Kuru dynasty could understand the inner meaning of the heart of his grandson Duryodhana, and out of his natural compassion for him, he tried to cheer him by blowing his conch shell very loudly.
Thank you very much. Next, I would request someone by the name Rati Sharma. You can please unmute and you can please read the next part.
Okay, yes. Befitting his position as a lion, indirectly by the symbolism of the conch shell, he informed his depressed grandson Duryodhana that he had no chance of victory in the battle.
Thank you. So next, Mayank, if it's possible for you to read the rest of it. Okay, Mayank, I guess will take time. So Gayatri, you are able to unmute yourself. So it is because the Supreme Lord Krishna was on the other side. So here, when let us read this particular part, it is very, very important because this conveys the inner meaning of this entire shloka. What is the inner meaning of the shloka? The inner meaning of the shloka is that indirectly, by the symbolism of the conch shell, he informed his depressed grandson Duryodhana that he had no chance of victory in the battle because the Supreme Lord Krishna was on the other side of the battle. So Lord Krishna was on the other side of the battle, and therefore Duryodhana had no chance of victory. So anyone has any doubt in regards to this this shloka that we have discussed now? So primarily here we can understand two things. That though Duryodhana has everything, Duryodhana has all the, if you look at Duryodhana's, if you look at Duryodhana, he has everything. He has all the facilities. But because Duryodhana is not he's not a devotee. For sure, his victory is not certain. He is for sure to lose the battle. Now, as a matter of duty, Bhishma has tried to cheer him up, but he knows that this battle will not be won by Duryodhana, but will be won by the Pandavas because Lord Krishna is on their side. So, can you all know about Ramayana? In Ramayana, Ravana had all the sophisticated weapons, and on Ramchandra's side, there were only monkeys, bears. So what were the monkeys and bears doing? They were taking big, big rocks and they were throwing those rocks. And they had weapons. This Ravana's army had weapons like something like similar to the missiles. They had very sophisticated weapons when compared. But only the monkeys of the Kishkinda, they had only the big, big trees, big, big rocks, and they were throwing on the enemy. So this is how they were fighting. But because Lord Ramchandra was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, mere monkeys could defeat the entire army of the Rakshasas. So imagine there is a war now. Now where the war is going on? Can anyone tell me where the war is going on? In Russia, is there any war going on between Russia and Ukraine? Okay, so now imagine the war is going on, and imagine in one side you have only monkeys, and the other side everyone is using missiles, rocket launchers, tanks. So whom do you think usually will be the winner? If there is missiles, tanks, and all the sophisticated weapons.
The missiles and the
Usually, what happens is if there is sophisticated weapons, we tend to think that army will win. But if one has got the blessing of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then that army is going to win. So now let us see in the next verse of Bhagavad Gita, what is, this is on the 13th verse of Bhagavad Gita. So now here in the olden days, there were no music system. There was something called a Shankha, Bhairya, Panamanaka, Gomukaha, and they are all used in the war, in the battle, to encourage the army in going on fighting. So let me read the 13th verse of Bhagavad Gita now. Tata Shankascha Bhiryascha Tataha Shankascha Bhiryascha Tataha Shankascha Bhiryascha Panavanaka Gomukaha Sahasyai Sahasyabhabhyavanyanta Shashabdastumulo Bhavat Tatah Shankascha Bhiryascha Panavanaka Gomukaha Sahasa Shabdaha Sahasa Shabdaha Abhiyannantaha Sahasa Sahasa Eva Abhyahanyanta Sahasa Eva Abhyananta Sahasa Eva Abhyananta Sa Shabdas Tumulo Bhavat Tatah Shankascha Bhiryasya Panavanaka Gomukaha Sahasabhyanyanta Shashabdas Tumulo Bhavat. So now I would request Mayank. Mayank, you can please help me out in reading the English synonyms, and I'll read the Sanskrit part. Tataha
thereafter.
Shankaha
On shells.
Cha
Also.
Bhiryaha
Googles.
Bigles Cha
And
Panavanaka
trumpets and drums.
Gomukaha
Horns.
Sahasa
All of a sudden.
Eva
Certainly.
Abhyanyanta
Being simultaneously sounded.
Saha
That.
Shabdaha
Combined sound.
Tumulaha
Cumulatus
Abhavat.
became.
So how many, in order to understand this verse, how many of you have seen this movie called as Bahubali? Please raise hands. If you have seen this movie called as Bahubali, how many of you have seen this movie Bahubali? So this movie called Bahubali, yes, Arjun and everyone is, they're raising hands. Very good. So in this movie, when this, this person, the hero, is declared as declared as the Senapati, the general. So everyone, Bahubali will, when be declared as the general, so everyone will start striking the ground, and they'll sound different, bugles, and it will shake almost the earth. You remember the scene? So similarly, something similar and something original happened 5,000 years ago. So 5,000 years ago, this is happening in the field, in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. In this battlefield of Kurukshetra, what has happened is that there is this battlefield. Once grandfather Bhishma blew his conch shell, then one after the other, everyone, conch shells, conch shell is nothing but shank. They are blowing shank. Then Bhirya, biguls. The biguls will be having a long tube. It will be almost in a semicircular fashion. It will be in that fashion. And some biguls that we play in the school bands, they're also small. But the other biguls, which they are used in the war, they are almost semicircular. So trumpets and drums, this in the olden days, they used to use some dhol and nagada. So there'll be very big dhol, and they'll beat this dhol, different dhols. And go mukha is nothing but horns of animals. So horns of animals, that is used to blow and make sound. So in the war field in the olden days, these were some of the acoustic, these were some of the music, some of the instruments that they were used for sounding. Why these instruments are used? See, this is the Kshatriya spirit. What is the Kshatriya spirit? The Kshatriya spirit is that you will not attack your enemy just like that. You will announce that I am attacking. The meaning of this is that prepare yourself, I'm now attacking. That is the reason. So this is a great sign of a warrior. Kshatriyas, even in the current day Rajputs, what they do is they will first inform the enemy that they are going to attack, and then they attack. So this is how the same thing is done. Both the armies, they are blowing conch shell. Now let us go further. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhacharanavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So in this translation, I can, it is just, there's only translation. Let me read this. After that, the conch shells, bugles, trumpets, drums, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. Tumultuous means it is producing a very, almost in hair standing experience. Sometimes, you have a hair standing experience and everything is vibrating. You become great enthusiasm. You got a great joy to do something. Such kind of a feeling is like tumultuous sound. So this is what is being depicted over here. So now let us proceed further and let us see what is happening on the battlefield next. This is the 14th verse. Tata shveter hayer yukte mahati syandane sthito madhava pandavas chaiva divyo shankho pradadmatuhu. Now we will spend a lot of time in this verse because this verse is describing the chariot of Lord Shri Krishna and Arjuna. Tataha shveter hayer yukte, tataha shveter hayer yukte, tataha shveter hayer yukte, mahati syandane sthito, mahati syandane sthito, mahati syandane sthito, madhavaha pandavas chaiva, madhavaha pandavas chaiva, divya shankho pradadmatuhu. So now we are like, in a movie. Imagine there's a movie going on, and sometimes when the hero enters, the special attention, the way he walks, the way he does things, the way he is, for example, there's imagine, especially in this Hindi films, and even in our Telugu films also, what they do is they will highlight when the hero is entering. It is highlighted. Same thing. Similarly, the original hero of this entire universe, he is being introduced in this battlefield now. So the original hero, After all these verses, the original hero of this, who's that original hero? Madhavaha. He is being introduced. Now, I would request, I have, I have a lot of you who have joined here. So someone can raise hands who wants to read the Sanskrit equivalents. Please raise hands. So now, okay, Adhat, Shriya has read it. Now I want Adhat to read, okay? So I am reading the Sanskrit part. Adhat has not read earlier, so let Adhat read. Shriya, you don't read. Tataha
Thereafter,
Shvetai
by white
Hai Haihi
horses
Yukte
being yoked with
Mahati
in greatness in the great
Syandane
chariot,
Stitau
so seated
Madhavaha
Krishna, the husband of goddess of fortune,
Pandavaha
Arjuna, the son of Pandu,
Cha
also
Eva
certainly
Divyau
transcendental,
Shankau
conchal,
Pradhatnutu.
sounded.
It is Pradhatmatuhu. It's Pradhatmatuhu. Okay. So it's Pradhatmatuhu is sounded. So now I want one of you to read the translation. So who will help me in reading the translation? Okay, Greek has raised hands. So Greek, please read the translation.
On the other hand, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental concerns.
Please. Now let me, very good, thank you. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells. So now, in contrast with the conch shell blown by Bhishmadeva, the conch shells in the hands of Krishna and Arjuna are described as transcendental Divyau. You know, in your school you will have then some student whose name will be Divya. What is the meaning of this word Divya? Divya means divine, transcendental, spiritual. The meaning of the word transcendental means not of this world, of the spiritual world. That is the meaning of the word Divyau. So Divyau matlab, it is not of this world. इस दुनिया का नहीं है, ये आध्यात्मिक है. So that's what it means. In contrast to the conch shell blown by Bhishmadeva, the conch shells in the hands of Krishna and Arjuna are described as transcendental. The sounding of the great transcendental conch shells is indicated that there was no hope for victory for the other side. Because Krishna was on the other side, Pandavas, Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yesham Pakshe Janardanaha, Madhavaha. These are different names of Krishna. So Krishna has got multiple names. Krishna is sometimes called as Yashodanandan. Krishna is sometimes called as Devaki Nandan. Krishna is sometimes called as Kunja Vihari. Sometimes Krishna is called as Radha Vallabha. Based on his leelas with his devotees, based on his qualities, Krishna has got multiple names. Okay, so here it is said, victory is always with the persons like sons of Pandu because Lord Krishna is associated with them. And whenever and wherever the Lord is present, the goddess of fortune is also there because the goddess of fortune never lives alone without her husband. Therefore, the victory and fortune were awaiting Arjuna as indicated by the transcendental sound produced by the conch shell of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Besides that, the chariot on which the both friends were seated was donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjuna, and this indicated that the chariot was capable of conquering all sides where it was drawn over the three worlds. So now, it's a very important thing. In 1 minute, the class will get disconnected. Again, I would request all of you to join back. Please see here, wherever there is Lord, there is victory. So similarly, if we also want to become victorious in life, then we have